Let's see if that works. Okay, I think we're on. Let's just look and turn around. Let's see if it's good. Had some problems with the connection, so I had to flip the SIM card. Seems like the Bara seems to be better than Leica apparently out here. And comparing the two, although it's not totally good connection, but it's absolutely better than there was. It seems also to be pretty good quality. So anyway, I was looking into the Pinephone. You know, they have the Pinephone Pro incoming and all that. I found a guy in regards to the battery, and he was making like a joke out of the Pinephone because it the time of the battery, he said 3 hours without using it and it's already low on power, you know. Yeah, so it doesn't sound like the battery is that good. But I still wonder in regards of, as far as I recall, they used the battery to a specific phone already, and I couldn't really find what kind of phone it was. I couldn't find the the information again. So it's kind of sad, because if I could have found the information, I could I could have looked into if that was actually a bigger battery. Sometimes you have these specific phones and then others make bigger batteries for them with a cover and all that. Of course, we would need to 3D print the cover, but if it was possible, then to get a bigger battery, it should just be a 3D printing thing. I haven't looked into that, but it's just a cover. How hard can it be to really print out, or to make a kind of cover that you could actually use for it? I would think it couldn't be that hard. Maybe it's harder than I think, but anyway, but I couldn't find the information in regards to a bigger battery, and this is really hard because the mobile is hugely lagging. And actually, I might actually have found out why it might actually be lagging, because it might actually be saving the data of the video as well on the on the mobile at the same time. I think I actually have set it to that, so maybe that's one of the reasons why it's lagging so much when you play a game, because it's also it's sending the information, and then it's also saving to the hard drive at the same time. So that might be why it's actually less good than it could be if you were live streaming. Of course, it's getting used on so many levels. But in any case, Pinephone. But yeah, you hope the best for these guys, but I would think it's a pretty honest review of the Pinephone. I know a lot of people don't like negative reviews, but I think negative reviews are it's good. It's good with negative reviews. And I think he actually was honest in regards to it. He's like, Pinephone, battery, see if we can find it, battery life. Yeah, there he goes. So it's like 2 minutes, right? And it's we have Samsung battery in your Pinephone. So it seems to be a Samsung. Run without battery. Yeah. Pinephone Samsung battery. There we go with the Samsung battery. But again, the question is, in regards to that Samsung battery, what phone was it for, and was there made any bigger batteries for that specific phone? First look at the Pinephone successor. Successor. Is that the Pinephone Pro or anyway, Pinephone Beta? Oh yeah, you can get this keyboard. I think there's extra battery in that as well. So Pinephone ready. Oh, we have this guy again. You know, Pinephone and consumer protection. He probably is going to make fun of the, you know, replacing Pinephone motherboard. Well, you know, it's you know, the Pinephone is probably not ready for daily use for many of us. I would probably, but it's still looking better than what the Librem 5 looked to be, you know, when they hyped it up, you know. Let's see here.
Hi everyone. Well, you know, Pinephone does it again. I don't know how Apple or Android or Samsung, how are they going to stay in business with this phone on the market? It's just incredible. You know, I charge my Pinephone up 100%. And, you know, I have all the usual screensavers and then turn off the Wi-Fi to save power, all those kind of settings set. And I don't use the phone at all. And I put it down on the desk. And for the first hour, the battery drains 1% per minute. So after 3 hours, and the phone hasn't done anything, it hasn't rung, it hasn't received calls, I haven't picked it up and touched it, I haven't opened terminal to see if I can run some code on it. And in 3 hours the phone is dead. 3 hours without any use. I don't think any of the other competitors can make that claim. Wow, I'm sure everyone's going to crash the website trying to order this Pinephone. Just incredible stuff. Incredible. And I just have to share that with you guys in the world. It's the phone for, and that's going to be my daily driver when I don't have to do a job for a living, because I won't be able to use the phone because it'll be dead when I use it. And other breaking news, if you plug the Pinephone into a 1000 milliamp charger, it only slows down the decline of the battery power level. It doesn't stop it or increase it. Another great feature of the...
Yeah, actually that's the problem I actually have with the Shift 6MQ mobile. That it's begun. Now it usually is not what it usually should do, right? But it's what it's doing, although I haven't tested it after getting the screen, but I don't think it actually have changed. But the difference is that I now actually have an external charger that actually seems to work with those batteries, and actually charges them to 100% in I think it's around 5 hours or so, and all that. You just put them in, and then it's really helping a lot in regard to not needing to be fixed to a wire all the time, and when it doesn't work, then that's of course a much bigger problem. But anyway, so that solved a lot of things.
Pinephone, incredible. And for reference sake, I'll mention that I'm running Mobian on this phone. So no matter what kind of code you guys write and what kind of features you try to add to the phone, a phone that has a runtime of 3 hours when you don't use it for anything is unacceptable and probably unfixable, I'll betcha. Thanks for listening.
Well, I think he's pretty honest on his reviews. No, he's getting some negative things from other people. I want to send this guy a Pinephone for review. Pinephone action step 2. Call only important if true. Let's try that one and see what he says.
Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. So, you know, I'm getting tired of bashing the Pinephone Kool-Aid drinkers. So I'm gonna turn my topics over to moving on the Linux community, because they're behind the Pinephone and the idiosyncrasies that come along with the Pinephone. So we're going to take a look at that. I found an interesting review about moving to Windows 11 or moving to Linux, and it really spells out what's really going on there. I want everybody to listen to it.
Thoughts are going to be clear. This isn't a Windows is better than Linux video. If you're a Linux user and you think that everything else sucks, feel free to skip this video. As some of you
Yeah, 'cause you're not gonna like it.
And of course experience the usual stuff that you can expect with a brand new operating system. And whilst the bugs are continuing to get fixed, I thought I would try Linux. So here is my Linux expectation versus Linux reality check. The expectation. When I was researching the idea of moving to Linux, everywhere I looked there was a promise of an amazing community of Linux people who would be by my side as we cut the Windows cord and stick it to the man. The reality, what a load of... There is no community of Linux users, but there are a bunch of Linux distrotons, and boy do they hate each other. I dared ask which distro I should use based on my requirements, and instead of getting, hey, you should try this, oh, hey, you should look at that, I mostly got, do you want to ever install? Blank. So that's not super helpful. The expectation, we welcome newbies who are coming across from Windows and Mac, and if you get stuck, there are so many places you can go and ask questions and get help. In reality, well, there are two camps here. Those who are generally helpful and are happy to help us newbies, and those mostly a bunch of elitists who live in the Unfortunately, the latter group is far louder than the former. Look, as you can see from this channel...
Yes, as we know by the Pinephone forum, this particularly the thread, shame on Pinephone, we know what those elitists are all about, don't we?
Well, I don't believe in just showing a solution to a problem. So when I was posting specific questions outlining the research that I've done, the steps that I've taken, and where I was stuck, I was certainly not expecting someone to hand a solution on a silver platter. However, I didn't expect you for so many people to reply with RTFM. I mean, could you really as helpful? That's like taking someone who is lost and asking for direction, but they should learn about compass points, orientation in time and space as you laugh and walk away. At least point us in the right direction as we fumble our way through this. And remember, these questions were posted in forums that were specifically titled Linux for Newbies. So thanks for nothing. The expectation.
Thanks for nothing. Kudos from me too.
The reality, somewhat bullshit. Not everything just works. Not everything has an equivalent app, especially when you venture beyond the basics of Office productivity suites. When you do find apps, they simply don't have the same features and options that their Windows equivalent apps have. So you spend so much time manually tweaking settings. Reminds me of the olden days of Windows when we needed to change the autoexec.bat, config sys, INI files, and change it to the IRQ and time cluster just to make everything work. And I'm sorry, that really isn't only the operating system or whatever crap they tell you when you dare ask questions in a mighty community. It's just a total waste of time. There are loads of incompatibility issues with hardware devices, printers, scanners, cameras, audio, video mixers, non-English keyboards, and don't get me started on processors and graphics cards. If you make the mistake of asking these questions, you get attacked for using it wrong, or getting told off for buying the wrong hardware device.
Wow, you guys must hate this guy. He thinks you're assholes. I know why too.
In the first place, oh please, on what planet does it make sense for anyone to throw out perfectly working...
Well, you know, I was in the Crunchbang community, and you know, for some time, and that was a good amount of good community and helping and all that. Of course, Crunchbang was destroyed. Then, of course, I became Christian, and then I wasn't really, what do you call it? Someone they would have around. But before that, you know, the community was pretty good. You know, you could ask about a lot of things, and you could get a lot of help, and I did get a lot of help in the in the Crunchbang community. But yeah, of course, you need to look around sometimes and try things, and use a lot of time. You know, use a lot of time to get things set up. Really, the best distribution, as far as I know, in regards to just where it just runs pretty much most of the things, where my printer was installed easily and all that. That was the main. What is it called? I can't remember, but it's the number one distribution at the moment. So, but yeah, I do understand some of the things, where you have some people just, wasting your time, and they just read the manual, right? It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, okay.
Hardware to replace it with another brand just to make it work on Linux. And it's not really Linux's fault, but it seems to...
Also in regards to, I remember, my network driver didn't, or my network thing didn't work, and I was told, well, you just need to get one of these open things, and I got a link, and I was like, yeah, okay, I don't really know where to really go from there in some sense. But anyway, any case, yeah, I understand. There can be some frustrations for sure. Of course, those making computers doesn't make it easier, because they also lock you out. The last laptop I bought, it was so hard to get Linux installed because of all the nutty things. I don't think it was Linux fault. It's these other companies that don't want you to install Linux on their computer. And I'm like, hey, I didn't buy a PlayStation or anything like that. I bought a computer. You usually can actually install what you want on the computer, right? But no, not nowadays. Although I did get to install Linux on it. But what a struggle, on. Yeah, it's just doing a lot. Anyway, let's see.
Boil down to is simple. Although this is somewhat changing, companies are just not that focused on Linux when they're developing software or developing hardware. So it's up to the die-hard Linux people to create utilities that bridge the gap, and in many cases they do it for free. But here's the thing, you can be as pissed off as you like about closed source applications and closed source operating systems, but I'm sorry to tell you this, but the argument that just because Linux is mainly open source doesn't by default make it better. It comes out, it says it works with Windows, it says it works with Mac, and it's
Are you guys enjoying the truth telling? I gotta write this guy a letter asking if he wants to join the Pinephone action. Maybe I should send him a phone first, and he can feel the pain of all the poor people who bought the piece of crap.
I don't know what his deal is with the Pinephone, but I think it's, we know it's still in the beginning production, but we do hope for the best. A lot of people out there are looking for, running away from Android and iPhone and all that. So, it's, give me a break, give them a chance, and, it's just. And now the Pinephone Pro is coming, and yeah, of course, I'm sure there's a lot of things that you can bash it down totally, but I think they're pretty honest on the websites talking about that. It's not a daily driver for most people. It's really still in its, they are honest, telling you that they are still in the work and fixing it. And so I think it, as far as I can see from their website, they're pretty honest about it. They're not like, well, the Librem 5 just went into a total hype game, and then it was a disaster, pretty much, sadly, because the phone was nowhere near ready for anything. And I guess that's 1 year, 2 years ago, or something like that. 2 years ago, time goes, I guess. So yeah, but in regard to the Pinephone, one of the issues it seems to have is in regard to battery. So one of the easy fixes for it, for helping on that issue, would just be to see if there's a bigger battery that was made for that kind of model of mobile. In regards if it was a Samsung phone of some kind, then look if that was made any bigger. what's in it. But in any case, someone could make a bigger battery, you know.
Hello everyone, and as you know, I have one of the Pinephone's KD edition super pretty looking box, but I also have now this one, which is a Pinephone Pro, and I wanted to open it with you, showing you what's inside, because maybe you're interested in the project and you might want to buy one when we actually have the not developer editions. So let's take the plastic off, and I am not going to edit out anything, so I should have everything already ready, because I can't make any cut. The plastic is gone, and inside of this we do have this little book which hopefully contains poetry. I like that. And this, which is a screen protector, which is nice to have. Again, this is like the developer edition, so I don't know how much closely the actual box matches what's inside. This is the phone, and to do a bit of comparison with the old Pinephone, we've got both of them here. It's a pity that this is like the KD edition, and I gotta say this looks so cool. I understand that not all Pinephone can be Pinephone the KD edition, so I will miss the logo on the back, but it's fine. We still do get...
I think you could just change, flip the, the closure. But I think that's probably possible, but anyway.
The little Pine logo here, which of course won't...
Maybe not, but the two phones are so much alike, so why shouldn't it be possible?
Focus, but that's super nice to have. Like, honestly, it's the prettiest thing ever I saw on a camera. I love it. It is the same size if you like put them one on another. Luckily, they do have different logos, so I can't mix them up. It is thicker, but honestly, you don't notice, you slightly notice it in the hand. It's not that thicker. And except that, it's the very same. Looks exactly the same. Of course, I guess neither of them right now actually boots up, because I didn't charge either. Okay, this one is actually trying to boot up. I need to, I think, remove the battery thingy on this one. And meanwhile I do that, the box also have this. The cable comes in red. I like the idea of giving different cable. This one is actually booting. Nice. I like the idea of giving different cables different colors, even on the very inside. I can actually distinguish them like that. And here we do get an adapter for the SIM. You can't probably see it very well, but it's there. That's it. I would still like to open up this one. It comes off right here. And in theory, there should be the battery, and near the battery, okay, it's coming off. That was actually very easy compared to last time I tried to open up the Pinephone. It took me quite a while, and there's plastic in it. In here, I think it's this scotch here, and I can take it off. And it's gone, and now I can insert it back. There is a little, what's this? Step 2, it's black and black, I can't read, sorry. Step 2, please peel off this sticker. Okay, this one, I guess. I don't know why, honestly. I can insert back the battery, like that. How much time has passed since you last saw an Android phone that actually could open up and change the battery? I wonder if the battery here can go here. Oh, it's booting. Rockchip.
I think it would probably be the same battery, but in any case it's not that long, since I saw Android with, battery, because I'm sitting with one, yeah.
And let's see if it actually displays anything. Rockchip kernel, okay. I don't know what's that.
And of course that's the other phone as well, Fairphone 3 and 4. But yeah, Android nonsense, right?
I mean, I know what's Rockchip kernel, I can understand. There's Android, and there's Android. So it's actually very snappy. Look at here.
Yeah, that looks good.
With Android, of course, but I mean, that's a good start already, isn't it? And it's of course all in Chinese, and now you can take images, and I'll make sure that next time you see this, it's going to run. But this is nice. This is very nice. This is very fast. Like I thought worse. You also have, and this is funny because I never saw it, volume icons in the status bar, and if you press them it changes the volume. Sorry for this Android unrelated thingy, but it's what I have right now in front of my eyes. And nice. I'll make sure, as I was saying, that next time you see this, it is going to run, the Plasma Mobile, sorry. It's late, the Plasma Mobile thingy. So, yeah.
Oh.
Very funny.
I don't know, but October introducing the Pinephone. Well, at least it looks like it's much more fluent than the other things I've seen from Pinephone. The Pinephone is ready. Well, sort of. Well, again, daily driver, maybe not.
All right. Hey guys, Root BSD. If you're a person that values privacy and freedom and free and open source software, this is pretty good. It's gonna be good enough, honestly. The user interface and the battery life and the touchscreen keyboard have improved immensely. And you can see here how smoothly it's running. It comes preloaded with some of these cool apps. It comes preloaded with a Telegram desktop. It has some cool apps that have like PDA kind of functionality. Now the camera on board, the camera is kind of like a camera that you would expect from a phone from 2010. So the camera isn't that amazing. I got two web browsers on here. I got Angelfish is the web browser comes with. It's like a WebKit GT is for privacy and freedom and free software. So it's not perfect, and some people it might be, just because they really love all the features of their Android phone and all the abilities of it, they might not be able to make the compromise. But so if you go to a site like here, we'll go to this site here, U2 Bay. This is Invidious. Now this will run a lot faster. And then like if I ran some let's just the first video that comes up. Now let's see here. Battery life. Now you can go over about 15 or so hours without having to charge this thing, but that's when it's just sitting idle. So if you have it, like if you're at work for like a long work day, and then like if I ran some let's just the first video that comes up.
Okay.
Now let's see here. Battery life. Now you can go over about 15 or so hours without having to charge this thing, but that's when it's just sitting idle. So if you have it, like if you're at work for like a long work day and you just have it in your work bag, and you just need to be able to check messages and make sure, like maybe you have somebody, like you have kids or animals or somebody's watching them and you just need to be able to check your messages. It's good for that. If you're just gonna be like I'm playing with it right now, it'll just run out the battery in a couple hours if you're using a web browser and streaming video and audio.
Well, the phone that I'm sitting with, what did it take? 3 hours of intense gaming. 3 hours, around 3 hours, then it was dead. I think it was around 3 hours.
Let's see here. We'll play this.
I would answer the phone just to help him out, but now when I answer the phone, it's
See, here's another thing.
Of course, that was gaming.
Oh, no way.
Because, you know, I guess it should be better.
Oh, sorry. I got Lewis cussing on my thing. When it's on battery, this thing likes to revert the audio to like potato audio to save battery. So I don't. Okay, so I'm back. So this is Invidious. It's an alternative front end to YouTube, and it's way more lightweight. Uses way less code. So here we'll run some Mental Outlaw.
What did you say? Invidious. Oh.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
What's up, guys? So I've been running a tour relay for a few days now. Well, I know that my uptime says that it's only been running for 13 minutes, but I've got some of these flags here. I've got the valid flag.
Yeah, like I said, if it's been disconnected from the power source for any period of time, it reverts the audio over to potato audio. It's kind of an annoying thing that I've been trying to fix, but for some reason it's just what it does. I don't know why. But yeah. So, like I said, not the best entertainment device, for on the go, for streaming or gaming or anything like that. Firefox is a little memory heavy on the device. It'll warm it up. If you want something that's going to use a little less memory, a little less CPU, use but yeah, and also it's great for SSHing into servers, except I tried to SSH into my server and I got no connection, so I don't know if it's something going on with the SSH, your Android and your iPhones, but it's also not going to spy on you necessarily, and you can put and longer passwords, and this thing also has hardware switches in the back. You have hardware switches for, we can get into focus, modem, Wi-Fi, microphone, rear camera, front camera, and headphone. So that could come in handy. Let's just say, I don't know. I mean, when the end of the world comes and they're out to get you, you can make this a little glowy resistant. Okay, another thing I gotta say about this device is that it loves skin oil. I don't know why, but just any of the oils off your skin are just gonna be all over this thing, and it's just not oil resistant whatsoever. But that's okay, like I said, it's not gonna replace your Android and your iPhones, but it's also not gonna spy on you necessarily, and you can put different distros on it. You don't have to run Manjaro, you don't have to run KDE Plasma on it. It can run several distros, Post-Market OS, Alpine, Manjaro, Arch Linux, OpenSUSE, or Mobian, which is Debian, Mobile Debian, and Ubuntu. The 4 major mobile environments for this are KDE Plasma, KDE Plasma Mobile, Bosch, SXMO, which is Simple X Mobile.
Alright, well, it's going in the right direction. Oh, it's 15 hours of standby time. That's not bad, I guess. And you can always change the battery. But of course, just having a little bigger battery is never a bad thing, And usually you can, it is nice to just have a little bigger battery, and then you also get some protection for the camera because the battery is sticking further out, and you usually have some plastic around that. So yeah. I don't know if it's the Pinephone Pro.
The schematics and the diagrams are easily available. Nothing
be the Pinephone Pro, but I'm not entirely sure.
It's locked down or proprietary except for the modem. But there's not much you can do about that modem, and it does have to have a SIM card. So, there's a little bit of a trade-off, but, the software itself is not spyware, it's GNU Linux, and it's respecting your freedoms. This is a device that I think Richard Stallman could probably use. I mean, he might find something wrong with it, but it's pretty close to his idea of free software. When you watch his talks about whether are you running the software, or is the software running you or controlling you? And you can secure this thing
in regards to that, really smart on
and make it somewhat glowy resistant. The Manjaro distro I'm running is not very secure. As you can see, it just had a four-digit pin, and it really doesn't give you an option to create anything stronger than that. I haven't learned how to do it yet. I don't know. Maybe
be interesting to see more.
Hi everybody, hope you're doing well. So,
for the batching of the Pinephone.
Another video. More stuff with Pinephone. So, for some stupid reason, I thought because PLN, I'll call them, mentioned something called Crust that was going to solve the battery problem. So I got the Pinephone back out and I checked for updates and I'm fully updated. I got my SIM card in and the battery was fully charged, and I tried using it to do some texting and it didn't go well. It had nothing to do with the battery either. I'm commenting with somebody on the internet on a chat on a website, and I asked them to text me to my phone, and so I'm waiting, and I said, can you text me? And they said, I did, and I'm waiting and I said, I haven't got it yet, and they said I sent it. So I thought, I don't know the person, so I was suspicious that they didn't send it. So I shut the Pinephone down. I fire up the Samsung, put my SIM card in it, waited a little, and still nothing. And then I picked up Pinephone because I rebooted it by then, and then there it was. Suddenly it appeared, and the SIM card was out of it for a while. So I don't know what there's some kind of delay there. Well, anyway, not what I was talking about. So the battery got 100% charge. 3 hours later, the phone was dead. The next 24 hours, I'm struggling to charge the phone back up to 100%, without having to keep it turned off all the time. So it just seems possible. So I'm puzzled as to why I get comments about, I've daily drive with it for a long time now. But I watch other videos where they say this is not ready for daily driving. It doesn't work, or they're just downright upset, like I am, that I was defrauded of my money by a promise of a Linux phone. And anyway, so it's this Crust thing that's supposed to fix the battery. I had done some research on, and this is old news. This is nothing new. This is from May of last year. I read documents on developers working on it. So I'm not sure how it's going to fix my problem when it's been a problem. And this is the same old story with this one. It's been a problem for a long time. Text messages getting stuck. Batteries doesn't last long. And I have one guy who claims, my battery will last longer. It doesn't mention how long it lasts for. But you can't use a phone if you can't keep it charged. And you can't use the phone if you have to keep it plugged in. And it still doesn't stay charged. You just can't.
Well, in regards of the now he's talking about in regards of
phone by an Apple.
Come on, it's YouTube. I don't know, however.
It takes a while to charge.
But talking about in regards, maybe it should not be buried where you don't see it. Well, now at least they have put it in regards to the Pinephone Pro. If you go into, you will absolutely see it, I think at least, that this phone is, even the Pinephone Pro is not too, I think they make it pretty clear that this phone is not like, that you shouldn't expect like a super smooth, and that there's still work in progress. And I think really, in regards to the standard Pinephone, I think, as far as I recall, it was like I think it was understood that this was like a phone mostly for those people that wanted to work on things, you know, more like a working thing, you know, if you wanted to have, you know, toy around with it, although not ready and all that. Well, yeah, I don't think you should get a Pinephone Pro if you're not ready to get into issues, and that's one of the reasons I guess I don't really, most likely won't bother with it either. But you know, if I can help in regards of anything in regards to the community, I've already been in there on the forum trying to make some suggestions, and people have written back, and it's, you know, it seems to be, it's a pretty good community overall. I don't see it's as, you know, I haven't had any problems overall while being there, although I haven't been there for that long. But yeah, I don't, you know, the first Pinephone is absolutely, I think it's fair enough that we didn't expect it to be like an end user thing. So I guess this guy might have had, he might have had some expectations that.
Started it up, so it should take that amount of time to drain it down, you would think. But anyway, I'm not sure what's going on there. But let's continue. So, I currently don't believe anyone who claims they're daily driving it and it works fine. You're using even with the basic functions and no applications. Unless you got a super duper charger and you keep it plugged into your car the whole time. That's the only way I figure you could do it. So I don't believe that. Something else I've been doing too. I've been looking around the internet, you know, and you look at all the videos for Pinephone, and again, this involves advertising and consumer protection. So we found out recently that the Pinephone software project, the Linux stuff, gets $10 every time they sold a Pinephone. So here's some of the videos I see about the Pinephone. This $200 phone can do anything. That's from a channel called Shortcut. The Pinephone, why this phone is important. Learn Linux TV. And why we need this phone. Pinephone Pro. I won't get into Pro. That's mixing the stuff. Yeah, I can't see it. Tech Hut. I don't see the video today. He had a picture of him, big smile on his face, like that. Trying to indicate what a great phone it was.
It's hard to know if it was in regards to the Pinephone Pro, of course, when he talks a little, you know, whatever. Again, if you, of course, people are happy in regards to, you know, a Linux phone that actually do something right, that has, you know, gone further than the Librem 5 phone, you know, that is further in production, although I haven't really followed the Librem 5 since they totally failed with their advertising. And well, the advertising was great, you know, they really hyped it up, but the problem was that the mobile wasn't ready. And they tended to really actually seemingly hide that from the users. You know, they didn't just come out and say, well, we don't really have a, you know, but in the end they had to show what they had, and they did, and it was far from what you would have thought, right? But anyway, it's
and plus many more unboxing videos and how great the phone was. So So clearly, we had an organization that made a false promise, had the software community back it up when it wasn't true, and that's why the Consumer Protection Agency needs to be involved in this. So of course, I got a Pinephone because of the marketing and the referrals from those who I find are in on it, because they're writing the software, and I'm not sure how any company can make a promise like that and not be in control of all the aspects of the product. So and I think they're in big trouble, because I'm seeing nothing but contradictions on this stuff. Stuff that hasn't worked from the beginning. The text messages getting stuck in the modem. The battery quality lower, or power consumption is too.
As far as I recall, in regards to the Pinephone, it was understood that it is primary for people that wanted to start out testing and using. At least for as far as I did in regards to research, I don't think I ever understood this phone as like a totally ready, released, but it was further than the Librem 5, so.
Too high, whatever. I'm not sure what the problem there is, so I'm not sure what to call it, but it's inadequate to operate a phone in a timely basis. What else have I got? And I got all these Linux guys contradicting each other on whether it supports CDMA and whether it doesn't. I've had two different people say the opposite things to each other. So I'm starting to suspect nobody knows what's going on here. It's just a hodgepodge of people in a loose organization trying to create a product, and as I said from the beginning, it's probably never going to work, because the manufacturer needs to have control of all that stuff, and clearly they don't. And clearly they can't, unless they hire them and make them employees and run the show. So I think the Pinephone is the promise to put a Linux phone in my hands and market it and all those other great things is a lie. How could anyone do that and not control all the aspects of the phone? It can't be done. So I'm going to be filing many reports with many, and because this is an international problem, it'll have to probably be done in multiple countries, and we're going to see what's going to happen here. But I'm not going to give up. And when I see a credit on my credit card for the refund of that Pinephone, I'll stop. But until then, I'm going to persist. And then we're going to talk about some other things today too. When I look at your videos, I see other videos about Linux. Why?
At least I don't recall ever getting the impression that this phone was a ready product. So I don't know why he got that impression, but if we look at the Pinephone Pro, go into the website, they're pretty clear that that this is not a phone that is considered a daily driver for most people. You can say learn more, right, in regards to the Pinephone, and here, what's the outside like? See here, if you can, what's the inside, what's the outside, where do we have who it isn't for? We're not in the business of selling empty promises. A much faster mainline Linux smartphone won't make the existing operating system more refined, nor will it magically spawn software replacement for your iOS or Android applications. There is a long road ahead of us, all of us, and it will require time and effort for the software to reach a degree of maturity that should satisfy mainstream users. If you depend on proprietary mainstream mobile messenger applications, banking applications, use loyalty or travel apps, consume DRM media, or play mobile video games on your Fruit or Android smartphone, I don't know what the Fruit is, but anyway, then the Pinephone Pro is likely not for you. I think that's pretty clear. Who who is it for? Then the left side here. Contemporary mobile Linux operating systems have a way to go before they can be considered true alternatives to blah 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 blah. In a nutshell, if you are an existing Pinephone owner and your only wish is for the device to be more powerful and refined, then the Pinephone Pro is for you. The Pinephone Pro has the raw horsepower to be your daily driver, granted you're ready to accept the current software limitations. And so I think they're pretty much pointing out things. So will it be ready for daily use? I don't know. I would probably, if I bought it, I would probably be pretty harsh against the phone. I would probably find a lot of issues. Lots of issues. So I probably wouldn't totally bash it down, on many levels, but at least it's open. You don't need to root it or anything, and when you root it, the Android phones usually also just become sick, and if they can fix the thing in regards of, apparently it doesn't have recording ability, but if they get the main things fixed, being able to record calls, that would be a huge seller. If they can just get it to work as a phone primarily, the rest can come afterwards, first and foremost, it just need to work as a phone, right? Good with a phone, and if you can record calls, that's pretty much, and a bigger battery wouldn't be a bad move either, because battery, you can't ever get enough battery, and as far as I can hear in regard to the Pinephone Pro, it sucks the battery out of it sucks the juice out of the battery.
Why has it gotten so bad? Why does the desktop environment suck? What happened to Ubuntu? So apparently there's a bigger problem with the Linux crowd. It's not just Pinephone. It's I had one video. One guy commented that the problem is that the Linux developers are arrogant, and I get that impression myself too, because I get comments like, buy a flip phone, buy an Apple, like I don't need that crap from you. I just need you to meet the mission statement that you have on the website and fulfill your promise to me.
Well, I guess the thing that they're writing in regards on the website is in regards of that is their goal, to reach that goal, but it's not to say that it's already there. But the goal is to get a Linux phone into your hand that is working. That's the progress that they're working for.
And stop giving me excuses on why you can't. Either say you can't and refund me my money, or deliver on the promises that you made to me. And I'm not going to read it again. I'm getting tired of reading it. I don't care about what it says in the ordering page about beta. It doesn't matter. You made me a promise, and I expect it to be fulfilled. Beta can't last forever. You can't hide behind beta forever. You can't. Eventually, at some point, you gotta surrender or produce the product, and I'll be waiting for that day to come. Yeah, I guess that's it for now. So, not an exciting video, but necessary. Thanks for watching, everyone. Oh, Sparky's sleeping right now, but he still is not going to be buying a Pinephone or a Pinephone Pro. Even though the Pro, they reduced the promise quite a bit from the Pinephone. That's going to help in my case. Because they're not making the same promises last time. Not gonna be putting a Pinephone Pro in my hand and marketing it and all that crap. It's gonna be many years. It's gonna take a long time. I think it's also gonna be never. Both phones never gonna go anywhere. They'll end up in the electronic recycling bin before it ever becomes mainstream. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.
I hope not. I hope he's absolutely wrong on that, because, you know, as Google is getting more tyrants, and iPhone and all these companies, a lot of people are looking to jump ship. So yeah, I feel like he's a little harsh, you know, on the things. You know, it's nice to have some harsh reviews, absolutely. By the way, in regards to the shop, that was another thing that, oh, I don't remember the website apparently. Not totally mobile friendly apparently, the website. But I had really problems finding the store. It's the lowest button on it. I don't know why, I just couldn't see it. Anyway, it seems like there's some problems with them, you know, at least from... Oh well. Yeah. Yeah, they could just fix, you know, minor things so it just works as a phone and can record calls and the quality is good enough and all that. That of course is the problem, because I can probably find things that I'm not, you know, if I bought it, I'm sure I can find, you know, I wouldn't, if I bought the phone and got the phone, I wouldn't expect to be satisfied by it, you know, because I would expect it as a, you know, a thing I could toy around with if anything. But not that I do have so many other things. So again, I don't know if I want to do that at all. But you know, it would be interesting to try it out. Absolutely, I would love to try it out. You know, to see how much and get a feeling, you know, how much they have progressed and how far it is. That would be the interesting thing to try out, right? And the mobile in itself isn't that expensive compared to others. $400 to 2,000 kronas. That's not that bad. So yeah, it's but yeah, it wouldn't be a thing that I would, you know, expect. But you know, it sounds good, you know, on the paper at least, you know, and it looks pretty smooth when they, you know, it could be smoother of course, but it doesn't look totally bad. Oh, here we go. That's the information of this. Samsung form factor. Okay, that was the battery. Why? I was in the specifications on the phones, but I couldn't find the information. So let's see if we can actually, if anyone actually has made. Oh, it's a Samsung Galaxy J7 battery, I guess. Then the question is just to figure out if anyone have made a bigger battery for that phone, and if so, then let's see here. Form factor. I don't know what form factor means. Or meaning. Oh, here we go. Is that the form factor? I have, you know, I don't know. But anyway, that's Galaxy J7. That might be a very old Samsung, I guess. But sometimes they made, let's see here, Samsung JC big battery. Let's try that. Again, I haven't really tried, but if someone has made like a gigantic battery, you know, again it could be, oh well, maybe not. Maybe it's too old. It's from 2070, I guess. If that's the one, someone should have made something. Oh, no, it comes with a 4300, but that's kind of another. Maybe it's not the same. I have 3300 original for Samsung Galaxy J7 3300 milliamps. So why is this one with 4000? Might come with a large 4000. I don't know. But anyway, again. But that, it just seems like they should have looked into fixing a bit of bigger battery into the phone, because you can never get too much battery, and with the issues that they have in regards to battery time, kind of wouldn't be a bad thing. But yeah, I do wonder if this is the J7 Samsung. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, that seems to be the. I was looking for the information on other sites, on this site, but I couldn't really see what it was. But I knew I had looked at it. Here we have form factor 3000 milliamps hour. Again, that's a really small battery. Why not? Why not? Jumping up to 6,400 milliamps hours, the double the amount. That would just be, approximately 250 grams. I can't remember how much my mobile was in weight with the 6,400 milliamp battery, and I don't have it anymore. I have ordered some new to the new old phone I have, which is it's slow, right? But it's a weight approximately 250 grams. So let's say, maybe 300 grams. Yeah, well, anyway. But I think he expected too much, and maybe, I don't know if Pinephone maybe puts, at least Librem was very good at hyping the thing and just failed miserable. So, but where Librem failed, at least Pinephone still came further, it seems. I do wonder how far the Librem 5 actually is. Also talking about the next one and all that, right? But I have no idea if they're still. Let's see what they have. Well, there's some pictures, but how far are they with it? Oh, it looks pretty good. At least the picture on the on the website is pretty nice. So still only 32 gigabytes. Bigger battery. That's nice. But yeah, again, how far have they come? Can you actually use it as a phone, right? If you can't use it as a phone, it's kind of. And when it was released, I remember that it couldn't really do much. It couldn't really call.
Thanks to a fast GPU and recent improvements to Mesa and SDL, the Librem 5 can run a lot of 3D games out of the box.
Okay, so there. I worked out the. Well, if this could run, I don't know what happened here. Oh, I guess my Android didn't wanna be in lead with the other side, whatever you wanna call it. Oh, come on, there we go. I don't know. Okay, yes, okay, but okay. So we have Tuk's card. Well, I don't know, maybe it's the website or something like that. In regards to, I don't know, or maybe it's just the mobile here. We have some problems here. Clearly. I know what's happening, but it's having some serious issues here. But that actually looks, you know, pretty good. The light GPU in the Librem provides a lot of 3D rendering while still protecting your freedom with.
Thanks to a fast.
Yeah, it doesn't really run on the website, it seems. I don't know if it's my browser or what, but it doesn't really. Yeah, it looks further. I don't know. No, I don't care about it being fat or anything like that. Like a good wine, it will probably get better over time, not worse. Well, it seems like it looks pretty good. And I guess they've been working on it for some time, but it still doesn't have much internal space. So, but they're also working on the Linux things and all that. So, I guess both of these two companies help each other in some sense. I do wonder if there's any Librem on, but it's absolutely moving forward for sure. You know, that's nice to see. You know, isn't it? Why can't I use my Librem 5? How old is it? I want something new, right?
I have been playing with my Librem 5 lately, and I have to tell you that it's very close to being usable as my daily driver now. It can do most of the things that you would expect a modern smartphone to do. You can install apps, you can call, you can text. I can stream from my Plex server to my Librem 5 over Bluetooth. That makes me very happy. That's pretty much what I want out of a phone. So when I say that the Librem 5 is almost what I want it to be, well, now you understand what I'm talking about. Most of the major things that I need are actually there already. But this video is about things that are holding me back from using it as a daily driver. So what are those problems, and why do I feel like I can't use my Librem 5 yet? Let's talk about this. And before we get into the real meat of the video, if you like this video, maybe hit that like button. It really helps us out. You can also hit that subscribe button if that's more your speed. Number 5, we need an OS-wide password manager. Now at the moment, I'm not exactly sure how useful an OS-wide password manager would be, since there really aren't that many branded first-party applications on the Librem 5. Most of them are, you know, GNOME applications. So the need for a password manager for the apps that you install, probably not as great or as pressing as they would be on something like Android. And as it stands for me right now, you know, you can actually log into Firefox Lockwise through Epiphany.
Let's go into.
But a lot of the GNOME apps, GTK apps in general, are going to be formatted for a desktop. In order for you to be able to type anything accurately, and even then there seem to be a lot of mistypes. Now maybe I'm spoiled by Android's on-screen keyboard, but I feel like I'm twice as accurate with Android's OSK than with the Librem 5s. The other thing with the Pure OS on-screen keyboard is that it doesn't pop up. It doesn't offer itself to you reliably. If you enter focus into a text field, it doesn't pop up every time, and sometimes it'll take a couple of refocuses, like you tap out of the input field and then tap back into it and then tap out and tap back in until the keyboard gets the hint that you want to use it. Now there is a little button down at the bottom.
Sometimes that happens on Android as well, where the keyboard doesn't come up. It's really annoying. Anyway, I can't remember if this is actually a shift problem mostly, or if I had the problem on the LTV20.
Bottom right corner of the screen that will activate the on-screen keyboard. But it's a little bit obnoxious when, you know, there's a modal dialog that pops up and it blocks your access to the button and you need to type something in, like, for example, a password. It gets a little obnoxious. But there is a feature that is missing, and I've talked about this before: gesture typing. Gesture typing is incredible. I love gesture typing. I know that it's kind of neat.
I don't use it, so that wouldn't be a problem.
But like, I can type on my phone with one hand, not looking at it, and I'm 100% accurate. I can just be over here, I can not look and just type something out, and it's fine. Like, I can type one-handed, not looking at the screen. Gesture typing is incredibly important to me, and it's not here. I find myself using the Librem 5, not even thinking about it and trying to gesture type, and it doesn't do anything because it's not implemented. And again, I know that it's a niche concern of mine, because I've rarely ever seen anyone else out in public ever use gesture typing, but it's a feature that I really miss coming from Android, and using Librem 5, it makes it much more difficult. But it's not all criticism of the Librem 5 on-screen keyboard. I love the mode switching that's available here, being able to switch into terminal mode and having like the arrow keys, tab, and all of those other awesome keys, the function keys. Oh boy, do I love that. That's so cool. Plus emojis. I love emojis. So yeah, that's pretty sick. Okay, number one. Are you ready for this? Battery life. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There is no sugarcoating it. With the OS version that I'm currently running, the Librem 5 lasts no more than 4 hours with the screen on. And that's generous. Maybe 5 or 6 with the screen off. Now, those are numbers with the modem and the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth enabled. I haven't really tested it without those things enabled. Here's the thing. Those are actually pretty good numbers compared to what it was when I got my hands on like the prototypes. When I met with Todd, I saw the Librem 5 and I think the battery discharged in like an hour and 25 minutes. So things have significantly improved since then. But 4 hours with the screen on is still pretty bad. Unless I want to top the battery up every few hours, and I really don't, it's basically unusable with 4 hours. I mean, even with the screen off, 5 or 6 hours is pretty bad. And I'm not saying this as criticism, like you guys are doing a terrible job. They're doing a great job improving the efficiency of the software and improving the battery life. And I have no doubt that within a couple of months or maybe a year, we'll see 7 or maybe 8 hours of battery life with this thing, which is closer to usable. But I would still want to see more when my current daily driver lasts 11, 12, 13 hours. I mean, I've been spoiled by Android. I mean, a lot of us have. But what I want to see is the Librem 5 be able to compete against something like an Android device. Well, that was a lot of criticism, and I criticize things that I love, because I love the Librem 5. I think that it's awesome, and I can't wait for it to be able to be used as my daily driver. I want to be able to take this device with me wherever I go, and to use it to do the things that I expect to be able to do with my device. Until the problems here have been addressed, I don't really feel like I can, and that sucks. But they are moving forward and they are making progress. Where they are now compared to where they were a couple of years ago is just incredible to have been able to personally witness. And I love the Librem 5. I can't wait for next year or so to see where they're at. But I'd like to know what you think. Do you have a Librem 5? Let me know down in the comments.
Yeah, it looks like it actually has moved in a good way. So that's nice to see. So we have the Pinephone and the Librem 5, although I had given up on the Librem 5, but I guess that they're still at it, They really, I think, shot themselves in the foot by, they had this chat application, Librem Chat and Librem, what was it called, the social, and they really... It was, there was a great community of people, interested in the same thing, yet it just, I guess I still have my account on the Librem social, I don't know, but, yeah, well, there's these 2 Linux phones, and absolutely seemingly getting improvements on that, so when they just get up on the mountain top and all that, then it will be much, much easier. When they just get the foundational pretty much sorted out, then they will hopefully be able to cross the others pretty much. That's nice. That seems to you actually can take things, you know, out instead of needing to take the battery out. I must say, in regards of the hype and fixing things, they're pretty good at, like, yeah, you know, and it looks pretty good as well, you know. But yeah, and it seems like it was ready for more graphical things. It seems like
Thanks to a fast GPU and recent improvements to Mesa and SDL, the Librem 5 can run a lot of 3D games out of the box.
Yeah, okay.
The Vivante GC7000 Lite GPU provides good performance even on graphically heavy Super Tux card tracks. Our GPU...
I don't know what is wrong with this, you know. Apparently there's something wrong with the connection to that video. Yeah, Tux driver doesn't seem like it's running totally good, you know. But it's running.
It uses free software drivers that protects your software freedoms while providing great performance. This game has various modes, all of which can be played online or locally.
Well, the video have a oh, give me a break. Yeah, must be some kind of bandwidth issue with it. But yeah, it looks there must be a new mode in regards of this. I haven't seen that before.
A number of first-person shooters already work well with the addition of a keyboard. Doom 3 runs well. In the same vein, Tremulous also runs well on the platform. Have fun defending your base as a human, or play as an alien. The GPU is not only responsible for rendering 3D graphics, but 2D games and other applications like Firefox benefit from the recent improvements. This is Bob. Bob would love free software if he were more than a square. But he is a square, so only we actually care. Battle it out with your friends using only your voice. This is best with 2 players, and like Bob, this is built by Sebastian. Games like T-Worlds now display correctly. But it also falls in the category of games that need a keyboard and mouse. No problem if you plan to use your Librem 5 while docked. The list of games that work well with a bit of UI scaling is very long, and not a single ad to be found in any of them. Right now, our screen refresh rate is set to 30 frames per second. Here we are using an experimental kernel that enables 60 frames per second. As we continue to improve Mesa, GPU drivers, and graphical libraries, you can expect the performance of these games to increase even more, and the list of open source 3D games that runs well on the Librem 5 will continue to grow. Pre-order your Librem 5 at puri.sm.
Yeah, I must say, it looks good, you know, they really, you know, since last time I looked at it, it really have, I must say, they really have moved forward in regards to things. So, that's looking good. Plan to sandbox and isolate these applications from the OS, so the application will not be able to have visible into other running. So, okay, very interesting. Great. Yeah, it looks good. You know, they have absolutely moved forward in regards to the Librem. And so you have the Pinephone and you have the Librem phone, both of them Linux phones. I hope both of them are going to move forward and just continue. Like, you know, at some point they should get up to the point of being usable, and yeah, if they can just fix some recordable audio, that would be very nice as well. And again, in regard to the microphone and speakers and all that, again, I would probably not there's absolutely some, for daily drive, there's absolutely some way yet to for these phones, but yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good, absolutely looking good. I do wonder in regard to the price, in regard to the Librem, if that's still pretty expensive. Librem key, Librem 5. No, we don't want the US because currently shipping. Let us see what it's costing. $1,199. That's incredible. That's. You kidding me? It's like, okay, I do understand that. No, actually, I have a little hard to, $1,200. Okay, yeah. And I guess the US model is, as far as I recall, much more expensive. That's $2,000. $2,000 for a phone with 32 gigabyte internal, memory. Okay. Well, it's and even 1,200. That's a lot of money for a phone. And the question is it really is it really worth that much? There's like, that's a lot. I think the Pinephone is more fair in regards to the price point. $400, right? Like you can get 3 Pinephones for the price of a Librem, and the Pinephone is on all levels, at least in regards to the stats, better. Anyway, I will probably also go with the Pinephone. I have a little distrust in regards to the Librem after they did the hype and how but yeah, it was nice to see a community of people that was interested in free software and all that come together on the social thing and all that, but yeah. Meet the Pinephone Pro, our flagship. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see. But at least both of the companies, it's wonderful that both of the companies.
Hello and welcome. Did you know that you can use a Samsung battery in your Pinephone?
I was in regards to putting the Samsung battery in it.
I've tested the model EB-BJ700 CBE and it works like a charm.
Pinephone Pro have this
it fits in the battery slot, but it's a little tighter. According to the EB-BJ700 CBE and it works on battery in your Pinephone.
You can actually take the micro thing out of. Anyway, I don't know.
I've tested the model EB-BJ700 CBE and it works like a charm. It fits in the battery slot, but it's a little tighter. According to the Pinephone wiki, it has to be the Samsung J7 form factor.
Yeah, but what it needs is a bigger battery.
As you can see, it boots up. I've tested it for 2 weeks and there seems to be no problem so far.
Well, they should themselves just make a bigger battery, around 6,000 or so, with a cover, plastic cover. And they could pretty easy solve the.
Nothing about Linux. So you spend the next couple of hours researching to see if it will work. And again, I'm not hating Linux itself. I'm hating on the experience from a Windows user point of view trying to move to Linux. I'm hating on the fact that some people think that you need to put down us Windows people and bash our choices in order to show how great they are. I'm hating on the fact that people can't recognize that not everyone in the world is in the same boat. Not everybody has 10 hours a day to learn a new OS. Some of us have stuck to...
That means in fucking life.
I hope I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the comments below are going to be filled with Linux people who by now are fluffing at them out, picking apart bits of these videos, and thereby simply proving up
Here's to you, buddy.
not leaving Linux. As of right now, as a desktop, it is just more of a hassle than it's worth. And if you're not technical, then the moment you step outside of a pretty GUI interface, be prepared for a load of downtime, loads of frustration from an incredibly unhelpful community. And this is
Unhelpful community. How dare he?
loads of amazing creators on this platform. So now, if you're thinking about installing Windows 11, here's how you can do that without removing Windows 10. And over here, you can check out a video that YouTube thinks you should watch. Click your head down here to subscribe if it's your first time here, and I'll see you in this video, or this video, or
I'm gonna subscribe. I don't know why it stopped.
Well,
a new OS. Some of us have
if I could just get Windows 2000, I would be. But, you know, Windows pretty much went into haywire, and learning Linux is kind of, it's not that easy to move. But I did do a pretty great attempt, and sadly ended up turning back to Windows because of a stupid game many years ago. That was stupid because I'll probably have known a lot about Linux now if but yeah, it is one of these time consuming things, right? And there's so many things to do in the
Hello, Setup Art Saints. This is David. In this video,
so because of those things, okay. Oh well. By the way, let's see here if we can SD card. Let's see if we can. Probably should get a little less this time. See, SD card, SD card, SD card, SD card. Documents, audio, photos. That's a little less than it was, at least. Started up. 12.9 gigabytes. The last one was like 35 gigabytes. So I'm trying to sort things out on the mobile to move them over to the other mobile so I can send this back. It's like, you know, you just have some foundational things in regard to a mobile, right? It's you know, this mobile is fast compared to the old one. But, you know, the old mobiles are pretty slow, and I guess the software doesn't help on it, and all these updates where they are moving forward to another Android, newer Android and all that, but yeah. But I can't see how I should be able to use this as a daily driver with all its issues. And I can't even, you know, the speaker when you know, I don't know if they, you know, talking to people over the phone is just horrible, you know. With the speaker on, you can't hear what they're saying and all that, so. It's morning. Anyway, I still hope that the Linux phones will get there. But sadly, it's probably years down the line still, you know. It's kind of sad. Anyway, why are they selling the Fairphone 3? That's the Fairphone 4. Now available, explore the Fairphone 4. So that's the Fairphone 4. and that's another alternative. Really, does seem like it's you know, the screws out and I don't know. I don't know how much it. We have the batteries they can take out, but then of course they have the SIM slots in. It's like stupid design, you know. It's incredible how much stupid design you can do on phones, you know. No idea why they, you know. Always neutral and all that. Well, the nice thing is that the Shift phone, at least now, actually feels nice without any, it doesn't feel like this vibration thing in the screen. It actually feels normal. That's pretty nice. After taking out the vibrator. Apparently it was the vibrator in this phone that if you just pushed in the middle, it would just, you could feel it in the whole phone. Or if you was knocking it at the side, it would also vibrate, It's a weird vibration. Would have been interesting to see if other phones of the Shift actually also had that issue. I broke 2 screens of the Shift phone, and that was very short drops. So I do wonder if that was the problem, or if that was just another problem. So you have 2 problems. Again, I haven't dropped this phone yet. Trying to get all the data out before I drop it and it ruins, because that's usually the thing, right? Doesn't take much for it to. I wouldn't, I would be, drops that I did to smash this was small drops. So, but again, maybe it was the vibrator that sent the, bad design or something like that. At least I'm disappointed with the Shift phone, with this phone. I've had way too many issues with it. There's absolutely things that is nice, with the Shift phone. It works pretty great with the Firefox browser, and haven't had any problems losing my tabs either, as I do on Android 8 here and there. It will lose the tabs, and probably still does that, but not on Android 10, or at least on this system where I haven't had any problems with that. What do I have more in regards of issues? Well, the speaker is an issue in regards of talking to people. Recording is an issue as well on the Android 10. And if you root the phone, you get into way many other issues. Charging issues, I've had that as well. It's lots of issues. Needing to take the vibrator out to actually make the phone actually feel like any other phone. Because it was shaking the whole mobile and making it vibrate throughout the mobile. Having 2 screens broken, it's like a pretty good list of things, that issues, it's just, and then of course trying to get your applications over to the phone itself is a living nightmare, But of course it's ungoogled and all that. Just I should be able to easily get the applications from this device over to the LG phone, but moving it from the LG phone over to this one is really a problematic thing because you need to, yeah, anyway, root the LG E20 so you can copy the applications over on the thing. Oh my, all this time of nonsense I've been struggling with things, you know, just to set it up, and I've set a lot up, you know. Really trying to get this to be my daily driver, but it's just hard to you can't wait doing the scramble confirm. It's just hard to yeah, defend it as a primary thing when it has so many issues.